Hey there. How you doing? Uh, uh, John wants me to erase all of my chats that have any context to him. He thinks people are out to get him. Well, you know what they say. If someone's out to get you, they probably are. But it doesn't really matter unless you let them get under your skin. So, uh, I was talking about Chris Hedges. He'd say, go to my playlist and go look at all the stuff on it. There are about 20 or 30, maybe more channels with 5 or 10 shows on each of those channels. And those are all pretty straight up, pretty amazing things. My friend, Miss Gracefulness there, and the True Reality Media guys, a nice couple. Emily, Jimmy Dore, Crow, from Australia or New Zealand. I think it's New Zealand. There are a whole bunch there. There's some really good stuff. Right? But Chris Hedges, he came from an amazing, his story is truly amazing. You should just, YouTube bingo. He also has a show on RT that's pretty good. And, right now we're really in an interesting little moment, because kids, right in front of us, we are seeing the threads of the illusion of whatever we thought we had as a democracy or whatever. It's like, forget about it. Next 18 months, unless the cadre stands up, puts forth an alternative aesthetic to materialism, and the commoditization of humanity's soul. It's not going to be the end of time. Sorry, Christian morons. Now listen, I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm a Christian, right? And I've met Jesus Christ many a time. Jesus never left. He didn't go float away, to go on vacation, wait for us to, do whatever he thought we should know. Jesus is always here. That's why Buddha is always here. Vishnu is always here. The great teachings of the Prophet Muhammad is here, And welcome home. They all say welcome home. All of the great masters of truth welcome us home with love's co-creation. We have to get, attached to that, to in every day and every way take the piece of the earth and make it stronger. So the other night, I'm feeling much better. I'm still, climbing out of the pit of antibiotics. It really took, like I said, I used to have a girlfriend who was a colonic therapist. And I did this art piece. So one of the things about colonic therapy, they stick the pipe up your butt. They, slowly take the warm water up your colon as far as it goes. And then they kind of just let it, evacuate out the pipe, right? And it's, there's a speculum, this metal thing that goes up your butt, and they pull it out, put the hose on. And the hose is about that big. That's about how much water and poop comes out. And, about a foot after the speculum, they have little plastic or glass pipe and a mirror over here. um, where you can watch all the crap come out of you. And there's a really interesting scatological pleasure out of watching your colon being evacuated. I mean, one of the greatest pleasures of humanity is cutting a loaf, you know? Mm. You know, a good loaf is better than sex, man, really, because it's all about your loaf. And so that's the kind of experience I had when I took this jungle juice antibiotics, and it just killed everything in my body. So the you know, when I was born with, you know, the umbilical wrapped around my neck, and the moron male doctors were trying to pull me out with salad tongs from my mother's uterus, and they were gonna like A, pop my head off like a tick, and B, rip that umbilical cord straight off my mom's uterus, and she'd bleed to death. So there was a you know a newbie doctor who was a female woman, and she was there to observe. But these guys are having, and my little body was turning blue because they were like friggin' choking me, and so she pushed them out of the way, pushed me back into my mom's uterus, turned me around, and unfurled the umbilical around my neck and delivered me. So she, saved my life and saved my mom's life. But, that experience, it almost comes, I mean, to give, cut the brisk, when you're an infant, I mean, God, what does that do to men? Have their schwanz, emasculated. And in other cultures, women, have themselves, this needless structure of pain, power, and stupidity is just, you know, just before I came on, I was watching South Park. I mean, the ultimate in, scatological poop humor, and other, the things that are on John's channel are, I mean, there's nothing of any interest, the, it's like, it's all cartoons, even, the things that are supposed to be they're cartoons, the things supposed to be interesting, like the cooking channel, cartoons. There's nothing there of integrity. And that is the essence of love's co-creation, integrity. And that's why the term welcome home is one of the foundation blocks of humanity's integrity. Because unless the individual is ready to welcome home all their relations, all you're going to have is war. And, we're seeing war every which way, and our economy's based on war, the only thing we make is weapons and death, we farm it out. And every empire for the last 6,000 years, 10,000, 16,000 years has been based on this concept of commodity as sacrifice of blood. Baal wants blood, right? And why was Buddha, Vishnu, and the great prophet Muhammad so important? Because they weren't about blood. They were about welcome home, right? So I was going this evening to do a guided meditation of showing how to heal yourself, how to welcome yourself home to love's co-creation, so you can be that pebble. So you don't have to worry about paying the rent or... Yep, we're heading back to Eden. Welcome home, Eden. Welcome home. And that's tonight's little guided meditation. It's welcome home. So tell me about yourself, back to Eden. Where are you from? What neck of the woods you in? What makes you feel whole? What makes you feel happy? What is your community like? Do you have a community? Do you have a cadre? What are the things you look forward to do? Like tonight, I'm having, that's all the teeth I got left. And they took these two and left a giant hole in there. And there was nasty infection up there. So they had to scrape it out and squirt some antibiotic jungle juice. What's the score? What is the score? Hey, Dragon, we're talking about welcome home. We're talking about how to heal ourselves and then lead by example to heal all our relations, to in every day and every way come in to that. We are home. Oh, peace, quiet, nature. Yep. These are all our mother's, living room. Peace, quiet, nature. Peace, the peace of all our relations, that everyone is satisfied. Everyone is taken care of. That's the peace. The quiet is in our little Rolodex, that we're not worrying about, oh, am I going to pay my bills? What am I going to do? The laundry list. And nature is all around us. So, a few more people show up. We're going to do a guided meditation into peace, quiet, and nature. Welcoming home all our relations. First and foremost, ourselves. Do you know your mother's father? That would be my grandfather. I know of him. He died. He was an engineer. He worked for Sperry Rand. He, Ingersoll Rand, back in the day. And he was a great inventor. And he was a wage slave. So he never got his due. That's it, esoteric. Yeah. Nature is the best technology there is because all of this is an illusion. Right? Love's co-creation is the only truth. And nature is a reflection of love's co-creation. So my mother's father was Irish, and my mother's mother was German. Steinbeck was her family, and John Steinbeck was my second cousin. So we have a literature kind of gene in us. My mother wrote, I write, John wrote, sister wrote, his mother wrote. And when I went to Germany to look up the Steinbecks, they were bakers. And they wrote really interesting, books on baking. And what is it when you make a a list of how to do something. Rising above the illusion. That is our ascension of our conscious free will. Right. When we rise above the illusion, it gives us this, it brings us into a sense of, whoa, I'm feeling something. I'm knowing something. I'm being something. This is real. Holy moly. This isn't just a cartoon. This is something going on here. Self-reflection can be very hard. I was a prick in the past, but I need to start beating myself up about it. Yeah, this is true. Because it's in the moment that you are. The past is, water under the bridge. The only thing about the past is a perspective of what not to do, So that's all that is. We're neither, we are Daffy Duck with the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. And every nanosecond, we have the choice to be one or the other. And it really doesn't matter because all it is a reflection of the present experience. And that present experience is only, a shadow or an imprint of what we're experiencing. So we can have an understanding of where we want to go, with every, I definitely made more mistakes but everything that I've ever learned came from making a mistake. And I was never, I had great teachers when I was young. Madam Olga Kluver always said, mistakes are great, you will learn from them, The old crone, when she invited me to stay there and be her adept, and I drank the third pot of psychotropic tea, and that was, you're not supposed to do that. And that was okay. She came back, and I was trying to get the animals into the van to go to the pub because they were all, well, let's go for a pint. And she kind of just said, She came over, kissed me on the head. She goes, "You're such a good boy. I think you need to go back to Trinity." Meaning she, before she went off to perform service, deliver a baby. She was talking about, you might want to think about, staying here. I could teach you a lot of stuff. I haven't had somebody like you in a long time, so I'd like you to stick around. But I failed the test. And meaning if she wanted me to really stay there, she would have taken that third pot and dumped it down the sink and not had it there as something to test me. So, but she said that's fine. It's not that I hate you or you can always come back and visit. You're welcome. This is your home. Welcome home. And the last time we left her farm and went back to Dublin, we went to the tea house. And she left me there with the tea lady who read my tea leaves and basically kind of told me what was going to happen for the rest of my life. We went into state, we drank the tea, bango, we went into state. And she just kind of went down all the things I was going to do. And then when we came out of state, she told me that I would remember anything except when it happens. When it happens, the memory, the vision of being in state with her in the tea room and seeing it in the Akashic record of what was going to happen with Flash. So I was not kept from having the experience. I was just reinforced with the understanding of what the path is. So, let's see. Yes, every mistake is a lesson to be learned. So, and your teachers, your memories, they're always with you. That's why I was saying, Jesus didn't go anywhere. All the great masters didn't hit the highway, they're here. I've, come across Jesus a number of times, all the time being a different individual. There was a priest in the Lower East Side in the 80s. He looked like Richie Cunningham. He had red hair, white as you could be, freckles, and he came from El Salvador. He's the whitest white boy I ever saw, but he came from El Salvador. And he was a priest, and he was a scholar priest, and yet he could have been very, going up the ranks, but he didn't because he served the people. And he came and brought a number of El Salvadorians who were going to be killed by the death squads. And he had the Underground Railroad bringing them up to New York. And we were taking over abandoned buildings in neighborhoods where there's, 20 blocks, nothing, Red Hook, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, Williamsburg, Lower East Side, Alphabet City down below Avenue D, and, Rivington and the other side, between between Houston and Houston and the Bowery and Canal Street, and it's like the no man's land of like Chinatown, Little Italy, and the Bowery, and we took over a lot of abandoned buildings in these neighborhoods because there was nobody around, nothing, nobody cared, and this is where we, took buildings, put good roofs on them, dried them out, made them safe, made the staircases safe. I, as a master electrician, would put illegal electricity, and we would homestead the building using the Homestead Act of 1876, and having illegal electricity. We got bills in all these people's names. So when the marshal went to kick them, arrest them, they had an electric bill, which is the platinum standard of residency, which kept the ice away from them, and they didn't get deported. And this priest, he went into these neighborhoods and found the churches or synagogues and cleaned them up and made them, temples of religious spirit and community service. Just exactly what Malcolm X did in his mosque uptown. He went into that place. It's right off 125th Street, now the Boulevard. I think it had been a school, or it was a very interesting building, old building. And you walked in, big lobby. They had like a hotel concierge when you walked in there. And hi, welcome to the mosque. And what do you need? You need to see a doctor. We have a clinic over there. You're hungry? We have food, a cafeteria over there that's open 24/7, whatever you need. You need food to take back to your apartment. We got like a place, canned food, vegetables. You want to learn something. We had got a school over, and that was on the first floor, and it had nothing to do with being Islamic. Now, if you wanted to be Islamic, you'd go upstairs, and they had the Islamic school, and they have the, mosque to pray, and they had a chapel there for every religion. And this is Malcolm X, and this is why he got whacked, because after he came back from the Hajj, he realized everything that was being said by American Islam, by the Prophet Muhammad, was a little tipped, you know. And so he was trying to go back to what he had been given the light of welcome home. And so, Richie Cunningham, the Hispanic Richie Cunningham, who brought all these El Salvadorian and Nicaraguan and Chilean folk who were being, attacked, and all the, MS-13 and all of that stuff is straight up CIA. CIA does not represent our country. You have to realize that with, this whole construct, it represents, the hidden hand. Since 1871, when, DC, was created, our Constitution went from, we the people to we the corporations. And the Civil War was all about that, whether we were going to be an agrarian community or whether we were going to be a corporate state. And after the war, he said to Congress, they were trying to pass this bill, the 1871 bill. And he said, over my dead body, 5 days after that speech in Congress, he was assassinated. Same thing with JFK. He had all these speeches about hidden societies. He was trying to get rid of the central bank, the Federal Reserve, because the Federal Reserve is a corporate entity owned by stockholders. There's nothing to do with the government. Our Federal Reserve has less to do with our government than, Federal Express. And Kennedy was all about that. And when he was going to Dallas, Texas, Johnson was putting NASA into Texas. He put the Nazis into Texas. And he was going to give a speech in Dallas that was going to basically do disclosure. He was going to talk about what happened in 47 and the deals that Truman and Eisenhower had made with the aliens, and that the Nazis had won the Second World War. The German people had been bombed in the Stone Age, and the Nazis are an element because it's a cabal. It's not just the Nazis. It's a number of transnational entities, and it's like the mob, And right now, what we're watching is the whole tapestry of this illusion of empire is fraying, more than fraying at the edges. It is just coming apart. And if you go watch any of Chris Hedges on YouTube, his his last 3 books are extraordinary, and he really takes it apart, shows everything what it is. But as everyone, they don't go far enough. He shows what's going on, but he doesn't give the historical reference that could give the needed alternative aesthetic. No one is building the alternative aesthetic, and that's why the hidden hand and the powers that shouldn't be are happy to let all these people rip things apart, because that's part of their structure of rebranding. To rebrand something, and I've been thinking about this a lot, you have to destroy what you had before. You have to have disruption within. When I worked for the corporate lawyers, a good deal of the contract law that I was facilitating and negotiating with all the different parties I was the element of destruction and distraction of what they thought should be, and I just broke it and then reframed it and said, look at this. And they said, oh, wow, he's right. Here, let me sign that, So that's what we have to do. That's what the cadre has to do. And that's what tonight's guided meditation is going to be about. So we've been here, look at that, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. But, I still, I'll see you then. Peace, cadre, love, and appreciation. Yep, no problem, Dragon. And, everybody go back and watch. And I implore you all to go and as Dragon has done, take all the shows and put them on thumb drives and flash drives and, your hard drive and CD-ROMs. I mean, because every one of these, I go into shamanic state before I do this. And I kind of, emboss the each show with a shamanic, chocolate center. And you watch any of them, it'll affect you, especially the guided meditations. So, okay. So it's 31 minutes and 31 seconds. And I guess what we're going to do for guided meditation is we're going to go into state and we're going to heal ourselves. Right? We are going to enable ourselves to welcome ourselves home, to forgive ourselves and forgive all our relations, to let the only reality, love's co-creation, be our foundation. And we will stand on that. We hope, feel it. Okay? Okay. So, I want everyone to get comfortable. Sit on down. Lie down. Don't cross anything. And just breathe deep, Start breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Start breathing 20% more than you autonomically do. And by enabling yourself to breathe 20% more, it lifts your diaphragm up, opens up your lungs, and allows the prana to come in and ingest into the blood, right? See it clearly. And breathe. 20% in and 30% out. And when you do this, you want to come and join and meditate, John? Do you want to go in state? Do you think you can focus your conscious mind on breathing 20% in and 30% out, thus allowing your mind to let go of all the anxiety?
I don't have any anxiety because I finally got sleep. I slept like almost all day.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pointing myself this way, so none
Hey,
of
everybody.
they're all
Hi,
in
everybody.
state. They're all in state, John. They've all quieted their conscious mind. We are going into a state of forgiveness. So why don't you sit there on the couch and just take part? Close your eyes, breathe 20% in. And I'm going to count from 1 to 3. And as I do, you're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper into a state of conscious relaxation. And 1, you're breathing in that 20%. And you're breathing out that 30%. You're breathing in that prana. And you're healing every cell of your body. And when you breathe out, you are, evacuating all the toxins of your body. Your breath eliminates more toxins than your poop or your piss or your sweat. And so your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. That little squirrel in the cage of your brain, of the Rolodex, is now going to sleep, and you're not thinking about paying the rent. You're not thinking about being the rock star. You're not thinking about being anything but connected through love's co-creation to all your relations. See it clearly. And I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and as I do, you're going to go deeper and deeper in a state of conscious relaxation. Your avatar, your body, your bag of water is safe and secure. Now all I have to do is snap my fingers 3 times and you'll be right back in it. But for now, you see yourself being illuminated by your breath. You see the prana coming into your lungs. You see your heart pumping that red blood full of iron, picking up that prana. And as the blood goes through your veins and arteries and capillaries, it swirls. See it swirl. See it creating a scalar frequency. See that energy building and building, and it's taking in the prana and turning it into photonic light. See that clearly. Illuminate yourself with that photonic light. I want you to visualize every cell in your body as it separates in mitosis. You see it surrounded by the mitochondria, the electric field of that cell. And as it takes apart and separates into 2 new cells, that space between it, that is the space, the vacuum of 0-point energy. That is the way you can transport yourself through time and space. You can go to any universe, any dimension, anything. And I'm going to leave just for a second. And I want you to focus, you, not me, you focus on this energetic. This is photonic light creating. This is what shamanic ceremony is about. This is what alchemists use to create from base metal to the gold of your soul, conscious free will, where you co-create with love's intention and freedom. So see it clearly. I'll be right back. And 1, you're in a deep state of relaxation. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. You have quieted down the squirrel in your brain, and you are illuminating your whole essence with photonic light. And you're taking that photonic light and you're bringing it to your imaginary mirror right up here, where your eyelids are, where you dream, where you have REM sleep. See it clearly. And you are surrounded by this white light, and you are shining that white light into your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind is not the scary boogeyman. No, your subconscious mind is your library of your Akashic record. Your Akashic record is the record of your conscious free will's total existence. And because within this sandbox of the universe, of the Luciferian illusion of materialism, um, the Big Bang, it didn't like bang and shoot stuff that away. No, the Big Bang is the Alpha and the Omega. So your existence in the material world of illusion took that long. But for you to get anything out of that experience, you have to put it into a context of a linear experience. And that's why we have reincarnation. Because we have life after life after life after life after life. And that's why there is no real good or bad. Because if you do something bad, you will probably learn something from that. If you make a mistake, you will learn something from it. If you just did only good things, you would be a couch potato. And that's what the yin yang symbol is. The circle, which is the event horizon of the sandbox of the Luciferian experience of the material world's illusion. The little S, which is the path of life. One side is black, one side is white, and the black there's a dot, and a white dot, and the white's a black dot. So, you go look at the Torah, and in the beginning, all things were dark, all things were black. And what you look in a physics book and you say, blackness, what is that? And it'll tell you, in the essence of physics, black is the presence of every frequency there is. Where white, is a very limited 5-dimension kind of experience. Our senses that look at the incandescent illusion of Lucifer in 5 senses, and they only experience 0.0095% of everything. We are so limited. It is mind-boggling. If all those folks who think, "Oh wow, we're the top of the heap," we've evolved from the monkeys. Sorry, not really. If you look at our story, we've been around 1 billion years. The planet here has been here 6 billion years. All kinds of things have gone down, and we are not told. We are kept. We're given a comic book of what his story is. So you're walking into your library. In front of you is a big fireplace of the eternal flame, that blue flame there. You look at all those big stones, and they're not stones, they're books. Look around, everything's a big book. And you walk in, and in front of the fireplace, there are these nice chairs, lounge chairs. And in front of that is your reading table. Above is this photonic light. Not see this incandescent light? What does it do? It shows a shadow. Keeps you from seeing what's going on. That's a Luciferian incandescent light. Whereas a photonic light, there are no shadows. Right? And they have created photonic light, and I've been in the laboratory and seen it. And I was actually working on one of those, what do they call them? DUMBs, deep underground military bases, right? And this thing was like bigger than you could believe. It just went on forever, and the sky was way up there, and it was a good 1,000 feet underground. And I was brought down there to work on a transformer. But the light came from everywhere, and there were no shadows, photonic light. So I'd also seen photonic light at Lawrence Livermore when I was there, and in the laboratory. And they were using it. They were trying to pump a laser with it. And they were wanting to know, a scalar amplified power source. So that's kind of what brought me there to play around with that. It's like, in those days anyway, that was my calling. And what can I say? But this is, all that matters is love's co-creation. So here we are in your Akashic record, right? You're sitting down at your table, the photonic light, your chair, you sit down in a nice reading chair, and to your left is your librarian, your animal totem, and your guardian angel. Your librarian brings you the book, the information. The animal totem's there to tell, he's your griot. So your librarian can show you information, but you may, not understand it. So your animal totem's there to tell you the story, to give the insight. Just like me, I tell you all these stories, and it gives you a deeper understanding. You know, I'm all over the place. And that's why there is no singular product line. There is no sales pitch that YouTube's androids can pick up on and shuffle people towards the story. No, you have to find your way here. You have to be an adept. You have to be here for a reason, not just because you were bored. See that clearly. And your guardian angel is there to protect you because you can be shown things that'll scare the crap out of you. But if you know you got your guardian angel, got your back, then you can calm down and be present and be part of the experience instead of trying to, put it on Instagram, That's why this YouTube process is good, because you can go back and watch these things over and over and over again. See them clearly. And two, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. See it clearly. Now, your librarian has brought you your Akashic records. You open up the big book. I want you to put your right hand on the empty right page and your left hand on the empty left page and lean into the book. And you evacuate, you open up, and you let all of the hate, all of the anger, all of the fear, all of the anxiety, all of the self-loathing, all of those negative experiences of the illusion go into the book. As soon as you have cleansed yourself of this, all this negativity, you close the book. Boom. And now you feel lighter than a balloon. All of that weight is gone. It's no longer in you. It's in the book. And you can open up the book and you'll see the big screen, right? And then you see the 28 little screens around it. And you can see the perspective of exactly what's going on, about that anxiety, about that fear, about that hate, about that self-loathing. You can say, oh, look at that. There's no big deal at the end of this one. You got 28 dimensions to look at which angle you want to see this coming from. So I want you to open up that book and look at all the things that your screen is showing you. And if you do this regularly every day, especially if you do it, before you go to sleep, and just evacuate all this. So when you can go to sleep, you got nothing to worry about, nothing to think about except, where you want to go for your dream time, you want to have a lucid dream, Man, you can't believe how much fun lucid dreaming is. Every night I go someplace I want to go to. Amazing thing. It's like better than Doctor Who's TARDIS, because it really is. It's not a TV show. It's right there for you to experience. So I'm going to be quiet for a moment, and I want you to go into your Akashic record and look at all that. right? And see it as a time and space machine. See it taking you anywhere you want to go. See it clearly. And two, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation. And you are sitting at your reading table, your Akashic record is in front of you, and you have just observed how to evacuate all of your fear, anger, hate, self loathing, anxiety, all the illusions of the doggy dog world. Right? We are made to believe that we live in a world of scarcity. Oh, am I going to pay my bills? Oh, blah, blah, blah. No. We live in a total world of abundance. And in your Akashic record, you can visualize and see everything that you are, that you have been, and what you're going to be, because the Big Bang is all at once. It's not like this linear line. No. Sorry to tell you this. We just experience in that way so we can get something out of it, because we kind of got stuck in the sandbox here. And the only way we can get out of it is to ascend our conscious free will. Our only way we can do that is to use our avatar, our little bag of water, our mud puppet, to have experiences that we share with all our relations. And when we can come together, all our relations. And what makes you happy is to make someone else happy. What brings true value to your life is your service to all your relations. I'm going to be quiet for a moment here and meditate myself. And you can resonate on my frequency and go to that space that I am resonating right now. See it clearly. See that which you are in love's co-creation. See that which you experience as a step forward and up to the ascension of your conscious free will. See it clearly. See the connections. Run your hand up and down the edge of the gold leaf of your Akashic record. It's like a mouse, and you can go look at all of your past lives, up and down, all the way up to the present. And you can even look into the future, but the future is always sketchy, viewed from this point of reference, right? Because there are many, many variables within the illusion. Right? If you could step out of the illusion and be your ascended self, hey, then you'd know the beginning, the middle, and the end. Not a problem. But you can see all the above. And the closer you come to the intent of your love's free will, the clearer these visions can be. And when you are in shamanic ceremony and you have a vision, that's what this is. You're having a vision. Right? See it clearly. And two, you feel light, you feel refreshed, you feel clear, you feel ready to experience, understand, collate the information into your conscious free will. And I want you to get up and turn to the right. And there are the 9 doors. And the one door that's open is the doorway that takes you through your id to your superconscious mind. And your superconscious mind is your sanctuary of your own choosing. So see it clearly. Walking through the doorway, hand on the railing, going up the steps. It's a bridge between your subconscious and your superconscious mind, your id. And your id, when it isn't used as a path, it will be abused as a monster, because it is this doorway that has an energetic 0-point energy dimension to it. And so there's a place where if your subconscious is broken and not a library, but a scary monster place, your id will energize that scary monster and bring out some pretty horrific things. And pretty much all the horrific things that have gone down in the last millennia has come from this, the misuse of our subconscious through our id, and looking at our superconscious mind as some kind of utopian thing, but it's really a dystopian motif when we look at it from the ego. And that's what that is. The ego, the illusion of the ego. The ego is just kind of your t-shirt of your avatar, right? You got one, but you don't got to wear it on your sleeve. Much better to have the egoless ego. So I want you to see all these things as I describe them to you. And now that you're at the top and you're looking down, you're overstanding what your superconscious mind is. You're seeing all of everything in front of you. See it clearly. You're taking a big breath, you're breathing. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. You're not distracted. You're illuminated. That's what you are. See yourself illuminated. See it clearly. And you're walking down the bridge and you're stepping into your superconscious mind. And when your foot hits the ground of your superconscious mind, it's like an electric shock of bliss, because you are now plugged into love's co-creation. And love's co-creation is, in essence, the great creator, because nothing can be created without love's co-creation. If you go read my novel, X-R-A-T-T-E-D, X-rated, at xratted.blogspot.com, there are a number of interesting little visions that will, if you liked the old Crone story, you will like all the stories that are there. And they're written in a shamanic way with a alchemical twist that will enable you to, as you read it, it's a ceremony for your illumination. And it's much better to read that than, be a bonesman, sit in a box and have people piss on you. So, there you are in your superconscious mind, the sanctuary of your own choosing. And I want you to walk over towards your grand meadow and see the picnic blanket and lie down on it and feel yourself being drawn into the fiber of your sanctuary. And it is going to change you, alchemically change you. You're lying down on that beautiful blanket and the sun is warming you, and you just kind of drift through it. You change alchemically into another form, and you drift into the earth, into the chi of your mother, and you feel yourself being welcomed home. I want you to see all that you have seen clearly. I want you to feel everything that you felt clearly. Breathe deeply. Breathe in that 20% more, illuminating yourself with that prana that you're breathing in. And breathe out all of the waste products of your body, of the illusion. See it clearly. And in every day and every way, you can take this piece of the earth and you're going to make it stronger. And I want you to heal yourself. You are fibrally connected to every cell of all your relations. As you go through the blanket into the earth, you are connected to the Great Link. That pond, that is the Great Link. It looks like it's a pond. It's, got a little parameter around it, but no, that fluidity is part of that earth of your great sanctuary. See it clearly. Be part of it clearly, and breathe in that word of the Great Spirit. Feel your red blood cells ease into every cell. It's not just your mitochondria you're feeling. It's the mitochondria of the Great Link of all your relations. This is an important ceremony you're experiencing here, you adepts. This is a reference point. From here on in, from this point out, you can use to ascend and acquire and be all that you need to be, all that you want to be, because it's not just you, it's not just your ego. You are now present in love's co-creation. I want you to feel that clearly. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to meditate on that myself, and I'm going to send into you shamanically through the World Wide Web this connection. See it clearly. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, wow, 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 wow. And 3, you're in a deep, 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 deep state of relaxation. Your conscious mind is totally focused on your breath. You have illuminated yourself by breathing in that prana, and you've taken that prana into your mitochondria and turned that into photonic light. You've illuminated yourself in your imaginary mirror and focused that energy into your Akashic record. You've seen your past lives. You've seen your ability to go into state. You see yourself as all your relations. You see yourself as a shock troop of love's co-creation. You sing as the chorus from your heart. You're an adept of the cadre of Sensei Al-Bab. Griot Sensei Al-Bab. Griot, your Sensei Al-Bab. You are my adepts. See it clearly. See the path you're on. See the point of reference that you are now, which will enable you to navigate through any obstacle to attain your present state of conscious realization of your conscious free will. See it clearly. And 3, I'm going to just be quiet now. I'm going to go for that silence, that quietness, that peace. And I want to share it with all of you. And we go to the most quiet place we can go, where that squirrel in our head is asleep. There is no going on about anything because we are quiet. There is no anxiety because we are at peace. Be there now. Be quiet. Still your body. Still your anxiety. And 3, you're in your sanctuary of your own choosing. You're coming up through the meadow and you're on top of your picnic blanket and the sun is warming you and you feel beautiful. You feel illuminated. You feel at peace. You feel healed. You feel welcomed home. You feel all of the love of love's co-creation. And you feel the connection through the great link to all our relations. See it clearly. I'm now going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to 1 for the last time, I'll snap my fingers 3 times, and you will be back in your avatar. But for now, I want you to just bask in that unconditional love of love's co-creation. I want you to bask in the grace of love's co-creation. I want you to bask into the realization of your forgiveness of yourself and all your relations, because there's nothing that anyone has done to you. You have no enemies except your own self-doubt. You have no fear except your own fear of yourself. It is that ego, that little squirrel in the cage of your Rolodex mind. That is the thing that keeps you from being at peace, from being silent, from being whole, from being happy. And every day and every way you take the peace of the earth and you make it stronger. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. As it was in the beginning, is now, ever shall be, world without amen. And in every day we take the peace of the world and make it stronger through love's co-creation with our Father Sky and our Mother Earth. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and the hour of death. Amen. And 2, you're walking over the bridge and into your subconscious mind. You go up to your guides and you bow with respect to your librarian, to your animal totem, and to your guardian angel. And you walk through the illuminated imaginary mirror. And 1, you are there back in your body and you feel your lungs breathing. You stretch your muscles. And 1, you are there awake. Your eyes are open. You see the surroundings that you're in, but you remember this experience. This is a point of reference. From here on in, you can use this to always go into state like that. Always go into state like that. And you're back in state. And then you're back in your avatar, totally awake. You were there. Back and forth, back, because that's where you are. Because you are a conscious free will. That's why you're part of the adepts. Why you're part of the cadre. You're not just a subscriber. Well, you're awake. You got anything to say? Want to chat a little bit before we go? It's 1 hour and 12 minutes and 9 seconds. Well, if I don't hear from you guys, I'm going to say goodnight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Again, I want you guys to think about the alternative aesthetic. Go to my playlist. Go watch those people on there. There are a lot of things for you to watch and think about. A lot of good information. Not fear porn or people's stupid things about their t-shirt or how they're working out or what new car they had or no. Those are what we have to talk about is love's co-creation. I want to hear from you. Well, I love you guys and sweet dreams. And I'm going to end this live chat. And remember, all of these live chats are just for our entertainment's sake. Right? Nothing serious. Don't believe in anything. Definitely don't believe me. Check this shit out for yourself. Okay. I love you guys. Catch you later.